Yeah, g'day viewers, Ken here. We're on Lone Oak Farm, Farm Simulator 19. We've just ripped off all that sunflower over there in the last paddock. The last paddock we're chopping in over the other side as well, of the other side of the road, back by the main farm. This is near the piggery. But while I had the sunflower, I just finished sunflower and put it in the first bin of the Load King. So I just decided to run this. Run some corn off of this one before we start chopping this as well. But we've got another paddock to chop next to the other one, which is all set up, just ready to go. So I'll start that off in a minute. I was just putting this on a worker, just to start running the corn. In between here there's soy as well, so, and that's all ready to harvest. So as you can tell, the truck is ready to rock and roll. We'll just shake, rattle and roll, if it was Big Red. So there we go, he's ready. So we'll jump across to fanning through. There we go. So we'll start this one up, chuck it on, and like last time, we're chopping corn. I was about to just get one on a manure spreader as well to start the paddock next to us that we just chopped. That's the one last time we chopped. This is the one that I was going to do a multiplayer on. I was trying to get no mods at all on this farm, so it's a bit different to the other one. If I go back onto that one where it's still green, and I just overshot the chopper. Yeah, the other one that I've got, Lone Oaks, is with all the mods under the sun. It's a bit green still. I like all the corn still green, still growing actually. And I'm cutting grass there at the moment in between the strips, and baling it at the moment to sell it on farm, of course, and to fill the shed up for the cows. For my Brahman. Later on we'll have a bloke come by for the cows and that, when it's a bit of downtime, when things are growing again here. We're going to be putting cane and that in. Like I showed you last time, there was a cane planter actually sitting around by the shed. We haven't actually put manure in that down here yet, so we'll be putting cane in the strips. This massive hole here was one of my mess ups. I tried putting a manure pit there, and yeah, I've got to come through and sort that out. So next time that will all be levelled off again. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. I know Welker Farm, when they had the update on Welker Farm, if you just if you throw anything on there, it just like sets it automatically to 0. Like, so there's no up down in between, and you have to do all this stuff. Which this is, yeah, in my opinion, Rec 19 with this rubbish. Like, you can't place anything without, like, even when you try to set it, like going down and that, they put some massive hole in the bloody ground. I can never do it. I zoom right in and try to get inside the actual pens and stuff like that to zero it out, to watch the grass inside, make sure the grass is not there, and yeah, I still stuff it up. So there you go. And it was a mod, so I had to remove it, see, so because there is no manure stuff that you can get anymore. Like 17, you can just get it off the menu, off of what's that truck doing? Looks like he's just come off of auto. That worker's decided to take a lunch break. No, she's still there. That's not a girl. I'm not back far enough for her, so I'll have to drop anchors. Right, now put on auto, put on hide help. You never knock the hired help on this thing. Never used to use it myself, but with this sort of situation I have to use it. for sure. They're going to be a big part of this gameplay with these strip farming. I do explain strip farming. See, in the case of like with the grass and that in between, where the worms are going to retreat and that, like I said last time, after you do the manure, they can come out at night and put worm castings through the thing. Over there, there's soybeans, so all this paddock's going to be a dry paddock. So you got to get manure and that on it straight away to cover it, to allow any microorganisms and that sort of thing to start coming out and going through the soil and reconditioning the soil again. There's going to be naked soil. So the good thing about sunflowers and that, when you do it, every time you do it, they throw out the casting and that of the sunflowers, or the chaff, and it goes all over the place, so it gives good ground cover before you plough it in, of course. And the only sort of harrowing we actually do, not ploughing, but harrowing we do on this farm and the other farm, will be with the case disc plough, that little disc plough, the one that can make it international, that sort of thing. Now I was going to check to see if we've got crop destruction on here too before I started. Dang, hang on, just bear with me. Just got to check something. Oh. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. Ah, wrong one. Where is it? Crop destruction's up to. Just so I wouldn't start killing me bloody soys and that sort of thing. Even the best laid plans can come apart. There we go, 100%. Yeah, see over here, the worms and that can go into, retreat now into the actual grass area. And then we'll put manure in that down, do the whole paddock in manure, even the grass, and then they can go munching into that. When it comes nice at night, they'll come out and munch all through the manure and through the worm castings and that. Here I accidentally hit hide help before, as you can tell. So I'm making a track out of there. Reversed up a bit and got a little bit stuck, and accidentally hit hired help, and it took off on me. I've got my trailer sitting in the way there. Got everything in the way. So here we go. There's the cane, sugar cane that's going down. We'll be planting that probably here in the front to start off with. Get some nice wide patches for it to go down. I'll have to start cutting down some of the runs between the grass runs, because as we found last time, the chopper didn't read because it was too wide. So in this situation where I'm going to be doing corn and stuff regular, I'll have to do that. So it just switches straight over to it. Even the mower, just to mow, then you have to like put it on, you have to like do it manual basically. You see, that's why you can't come along with like if these were full paddocks, I'd probably get the flexi coil in here and a massive tractor In this case, probably I'd use a big butt or something. I like that. There's no John Deere's big enough as far as I'm concerned. The 9T I don't like. I don't like any track vehicle really. It's just personal preference, that's all. Just not into them. I've got the header. I got the header that's got tracks on it. But personally, I only did that so people can see both. If you know what I mean, like they can see tired version and track version. Just to show off both. Look at this. Look at that. So that's disgusting. Everybody would just say, it's because you're piss weak and you can't do it. And that's fine. But, you know, look at that. Talk about a cliffhanger. I'm gonna get caught up on the trailer now. Ah, we got it. Ah, come on, dude. I wanted to get past you first. Haven't got crop destruction on. We'll just go around here. Normally I wouldn't do that. Normally I have crop destruction on just to make it a bit harder. Well, to make everybody. But see, I was going to make this multiplayer, so you can't expect people to actually drive the proper lines. You're going to have to drive in the crop all the way through here anyway. Can you register? This side. Wait, mate, over here, buddy. There you go. Thank you. Just start chopping. East down and bound, saddled up and come on, broski. No, I'm gonna have to do it myself. Yep, saw you definitely. If I had a meter, it would tell me that they're probably. Whoa, we don't do that at home, kids. That's not even on mine. Let's go in a hole. Yeah, so I was going to tidy all that up before we started on here, but I decided not to. Because that's what I've done. I've stuffed it up. Why hide it? Yeah, we're all going to go through it. If anybody tells me that they can do it perfect every time, well, good on them. I can't. See, if this was GTA, man, we could have rabbits running around everywhere, deers destroying your crop. An Australian map and have kangaroos running around. And rabbits. The bloody plague, I suppose. Grasshopper plague. But grasshoppers starting to come on at the moment, so I know it might sound weird to you people that are in ice at the moment, in snow. We've got a 48 week coming up, like 48 degrees and stuff like that. Celsius. Yeah, I better say that. Yeah, we've got a really hot week coming up. All week it's going to be in the 40s. And everybody's just bracing for the new bushfires that are going to spring up. We've got some already in New South Wales and it's still Perth. I heard that got fires as well. Actually, somebody said to me the other day, they said, there's the Japanese keep buying up all the industry and that over here, but they realise that there's so many fires because apparently they don't like fire. That's what they said, so I don't know. I mean, they said that when they worked up the mines that they were shit scared of all the fires, so I said, well, I don't know. Nobody likes fucking fires. Who wants to be caught up in the fire? Yeah. You get some people thinking. He might like fires, I don't know. Although, I've got to admit, standing in front of a nice bloody fire, like we had down the farm, we had an indoor fire, so... And we had actually the wood cooker in the kitchen, the stove. I think it was a kookaburra, I'm not sure. But it's, yeah, we had the wood stove in there, and in winter it was bloody excellent. Warm the whole house up. Keep the mallee supplied up in it, which was really hot when you use mallee. And just that sinking heat when you stand in front of an open fire, you know. Well, you know, if you stand in front of a bonfire when you're out there, a freezing cold night, you cook one side and freeze the other side. Bit of rotisserie happening. And you burn you get the hot jeans on your legs and burn your legs. It's good fun. Smelling like smoke for days. Can't get it out of your hair and stuff. Yep. The pleasures of outdoors, eh? Oh, sorry, soy. Man, they got heaps and heaps of bushels there. Just knocked it all off. Know what? Yeah, so we're cruising around here. The farm's the same, but we've got the lime tank in that here. You know, we could start spreading lime. There was lime spread on the paddock beforehand up the top there, as you can see. We're about to cut near it. But yeah, you could do that if you want. You could use all chemicals on it. I've got weeds turned off, so I don't have to use any pesticides and stuff like that. Because, you know, you could cut out all those beautiful, nice worms and microorganisms, then, don't you? That's the problem there. Everybody's saying, oh, you know, you should go green and all the rest of this stuff, but then they're saying, but you got to use these fertilizers and these bloody chemicals and these, yeah. And there's no point making everything reliant. Like there's all these ads at the moment about the pest resistance herbicides and stuff like that, and weed resistant pesticides for the pest. You know, they're carrying on about it. Everything's resistant to it. Yeah, well, with that and El Nino, you're all carrying on about El Nino is going to be hotter and hotter and hotter. What's the point in going agriculture, as much as you're carrying on about? You know, like you put it all to crops and that, and have a natural disaster. You know, meat production plus animal by-waste. They keep saying on about cow farts, and I have to laugh every time I hear that, especially when the Americans say it with their punching through the ozone layer with their fucking rockets and shit all the time, wrecking the ozone layer. Yeah, and they're saying it's all cow farts. You know, how stupid are they? Yeah. All those satellites and that all the way up there, you know, they're entering and re-entering your atmosphere all the time, burning up rocket fuel and shit on it, but it's cow farts. Hell, feedlotting is nothing compared to what animals used to roam the earth. But there used to be more oxygen around, you know, with more trees and stuff where they're clearing everything to put in bloody grapevines. I live in grapevines, by the way, so I've known it over the years. I've watched all the farms around here get brought out by the grapevines, and you know, they can't pay their mortgages and stuff and lose their farms and shit like that. And then all the grapevines move in. They use all the bore water, which is artesian water, and that we've got here in Australia. They use that. They're allowed to tap bores, but then all the farmers were told to cap all the windmills and everything to supply their dams and stuff like that for the cattle and stuff. You know, like that agricultural sort of movement thing that bistro stuff sort of went out started wrecking the Australian farmers, as far as I'm concerned. This is my personal bitch about it all. I haven't got long for this earth anyway, so I don't care. Now, it's my generation and my kids and that yeah, are going to be the ones that suffer that, you know. Yes. Back in the day, all you saw was ads on TV with big mobs of sheep and stuff like that, with commercials and that. Yep. Now everybody's being pushed out. Well, for the case of, you know, the minority. Oh well, if they're more worried about bloody having a bit of plonk, then I suppose they can sit around and while they, you know, while the earth's going all shit and drink about it and reminisce about how good it used to be. Or which year tastes the best, I don't know. Meanwhile, they're not feeding the world or themselves, so. Farmers need to be rejoiced in any way, shape and form. Even the small outback meaning out in the backyard farmer, you know, that you get out there to grow their own veggies and stuff. Try to keep their kids supplied with food that's not contaminated. You know, like overseas they use different sprays and stuff to what we do that aren't even you know, they're not even allowed in this country, but they're allowed in other countries and they import it and stuff like that, which you know, that makes people crooker and crooker and their immune system breaks down. And now those plants aren't even grown in this environment. That's the whole point. You eat a homegrown plant, which is actually toughened and hardened to these conditions with bug disease and everything else, and whatever plant disease they get, they toughen up to it, they sort themselves out. You know, nature finds a way, you know. You keep messing with it, pretty soon everything will just die off, and we're all going to be in the same boat and give a shit who you are. Like I say, you know, you can have whatever you want and talk all the crap you want and everything else, but at the end of the day, we're all just ghosts in the cemetery, you know. Rank, wealth, everything else means nothing. And that's it. That's my little rant on it. Oh, look, it's stuck. There's no more crop to cut. See what I mean there? It's like 2 wide bits. So later that soy will be cut down to, or like more crop and less soy. Well, in this case it'll be grass or something like that, you know. That was just a filler crop for the grass, see? So that would be a grass strip normally. But even with the grass strips being cut out like I am doing, that was way too much grass for this paddock to be grass as well as every other paddock to be grass. There's just way too much grass still hanging around. And I didn't want the full front paddocks and that being, on this map, being grass. Now, it's not an Irish map. If it was an Irish map, there'd be grass everywhere. I can't keep up with those Irish boys, I told you that before. I went on there one day and played with the Irish guys, and on Oakfield Farm it was, and they were cutting and chopping there. I had the semi actually, so I sort of stuffed myself up, but yeah, I had the semi trailer and trying to keep up with them. I was alright in the straights, but the corners really stuffed me up. So, but those guys were doing like that fast farming thing. I really don't know how to do that. Oh. Let's double tap or something on the accelerator or whatever it is, but I just don't do it. Like I said, I've spent days and days on Dale Ranch, just harvesting that paddock with 4 combines and 4 semis. They were Wilson trailers. We had triple Wilson trailers, B triples that is. Yeah, running those back and forwards. Like I said, if they were load kings, it would be better because they'd hold more, and they look better too with bigger sides. could have chucked dollies on them if they had the tow bar on them, but they haven't got it, so I had to go to Wilson's and do the B doubles or triples. And triple trailers aren't as bad as you think, you know, like I was doing a couple of 36s with the dollies on one combination, where they got the little pup trailer on the other one, so they had the T-bar on it, so I was running a dolly on the back of that, so it was one with a dolly, then another one, and then the dolly, and then the oh shit, went the wrong way, didn't I? What's your days, yeah. I realised that just as I did it. Yeah, that's shocking there. I really kicked myself doing that. I just made a mess of it, tried to fix it, made a mess of it, so after this is taken out, I'll level all this whole area up again, and we'll try to, because we've got a natural hill here too, which makes this place, you know, undulating paddocks. I like it a lot. Like I said, this is my go-to American map, so I don't want to wreck it. Bullet Bill did a good job in this, and Oxford David with his little touches that he's done. Look at those beautiful cattle over there. They're all Brahman in this one. We're going to have the AI guy come in, and they're all cows. We've got a breeding program, but we haven't got bulls, you know, here. But with all the straws you can have these days, the milkman's going to come along with his van. So when you see the white van here later on in the gameplay, you'll know exactly what he's there for. He's bringing his straws with him, and we'll be picking some bulls. I mean, they got it down to, like, for the dairy breeds now, that you can pick high yield milking, high yield heifers. You can sex it, you know, so sex to a bull, because a bull put out more heifers than, you know, that bloodline type of thing, so his genetics, so yeah, leaps and bounds. It's not cloning, but it's close to, you know, like you're using the genetics for certain traits, so the selective breeding over years, you know, do the same thing. You go back over into the 30s and that, and have a look at their shape of their cattle and everything there, and like the Kerry cattle, for example, little black cattle, where low line and Dexter cattle and that, basically these days we'll get those for the niche market for the small blocks and that, but Kerry cattle would have been ideal for it. But they're a rare breed dying out. They're an Irish breed, which is the so-called Dexters that they're using on these games, the horn cattle. I'm calling them Kerry cattle. If I do a British map or something, I'll have them in as Kerry cattle, Rare Breed Association type of thing. Just awareness for the Rare Breed Association. Anybody with property should get into bringing back the old breeds. Like I said, you know, things are going to be dying out. You want those old breeds coming back in now, especially if they're going to keep trying to shut down the so you need a dual purpose one, basically smaller, compactor, so you can have them in smaller allotments and that sort of thing, because that's the only way people are going to be able to provide their own meat and stuff like that, and provide for their families. If you don't bring those smaller breeds and that back in, so they can have them on smaller places, because apparently it's cow farts that are wrecking the ozone layer, you know, so all those meat production places are going to be outlawed completely if they have their own way. Like here in Australia, I don't know what you call terrorism, but we had an attack on our by this animal movement mob, and they stuck pig offal in the troughs and that for the sheep and that were going overseas. So of course they were going to Muslim countries, and they put pig offal and that in it. You know, you're talking about organised terrorism there. But they get away with it because, you know, They can wreck a whole industry and everything like that. People's livelihoods, people going broke. Like I said, a lot of people lost their places, and then the vineyards and that moved in and stuff like that. You know, destroyed the whole friggin' economy of Australia, really. And then the cattle thing as well. With you know, if you're so worried about them fucking killing their cattle in their way they do it overseas, you've got enough money in your organisations, go build them proper oil abattoirs, even though you don't support abattoirs, or, you know, there you go, there's my rant and rave. There's my channel, I'll do what I want. Probably get it fucking banned now. Yeah, they're all in together anyway. Let people, you can't have a conscious mind anymore, you got to be a fucking robot. Yeah, I believe in bloody, you know, no cruelty to animals and stuff, but when you mess with people's livelihoods and that to just enforce your own opinion, well, you know, my opinion is on veganism and everything. Else you eat a carrot, you're killing 1,000 bloody seeds and stuff. If you grow carrots and that, you know what the carrot heads and that actually put out, the seeds and stuff. And that's the problem. A lot of these people, they're consumers, and they got no idea. They don't grow it. You know, they don't grow their own. They don't provide for their own or anything else. So, yeah, pisses me off. There's two sides to every story, and they only print one or telecast one. And it's yeah. Like I said, you want them to do it right, to specifications and that are qualified in our country and that sort of thing. Go and build them in abattoirs. You know, feed the world. You ever heard that song? Feed the world. You know, don't you know it's Christmas time? It is actually. Exactly. Why should there be starving people all over the freaking world? Even in with these intensive places that, like a lot of dairies and that, they put their own slurry and that back on their paddocks and stuff like that. But you know, all these intensive places that have like piggeries and chook places and everything else, man, there should be, the government should be coming in and going, right, okay, we'll take well, how much surplus have you got? Joe Blow down the road here, Mr. Farmer, who's got all his cereal crops, he needs this for his paddocks, like the chook shit and that sort of thing, you know. Let's start putting all the stuff from surplus stuff that we've got all over the place, instead of penalising them for not having the proper you know, dams and stuff to get rid of the effluent. Let's organise the farmers and stuff and give it to the farmers. Get them fertilising the ground more, no more chemicals and stuff. Let's not you know, let's not push the let's make billions of dollars, multi-billions of dollars a year through selling chemicals, because you have a bloody share in it. Anyway, that's me cutting corn today. And if we'll jump across, we'll turn this off and jump across. Man, the corn harvester looks like he's full. Where is it? That's chopper, I must have went straight past it. There it is. That's 72%. Alright, we've got a problem here with that one run being too wide again, see? The harvester couldn't get across to it. And luckily we haven't got crop destruction. Yeah, see, I've spent the last bloody 17 years after a certain person decided that, because I'm big, ugly and hairy, I was working 13-hour days at the time, but, you know, because he had a church meeting to go to, as far as I'm concerned, that's what it was, because he decided to declare me dead on the table. So I've had the last 17 years without bloody just sitting around waiting to die with my emphysema and heart condition, because that's what I copped out of that. So being allowed to die on the table. 45 minutes later I woke up again. So I woke up with a bit of attitude towards the freaking world around me at that stage. You know, people stereotyping other people, and for my example, as far as I'm concerned, that's what it was. Now, I got mortgage and everything else to pay, but you know, it doesn't matter if I'm working 13-hour days to try to make all that. He decided to make his own decision as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, that's me. I'm sitting around waiting to die. I'm supposed to have died all that time ago. Did die. So now I'm sitting around just waiting, doing this thing. And this is the corn harvester. Same meat, different gravy. We'll go out, go back. See, that strip in the middle is way too wide for this to register to go across to the other side, so I've got to cut that down. So I'll cut more crop into the other side of it. And make it a bit thinner so the thing will register and go straight across on its own accord. It's good to have alternative crops, because if it was all just the one head, like if we're doing soybeans and then having wheat or something, even though on this game it doesn't register the two crops, or it registers the two crops as separate crops, which is a saving grace. Otherwise it would just chop it all together and mix it in real life. Well, in real life you wouldn't do this, would you? Anyway, that's me. I've gone way over time for my rant and raving today, so I promise I won't do too much of it in the future. Just things with earthquakes and volcanoes and everything at the moment. The world's arcing up. So people need to take note. Nature's speaking. Alright. So that's it. I'm out. Hooroo. Catch you on the flip side. Bye for now. If you can't be good at it.